Oh, Alan Henderson. Alan Henderson, who lives in Gainesville, he is the deputy clerk under Clovis Watson. Henderson is the effective supervisor of elections, of the city elections, and last year they just messed the whole thing up. I mean, there was a combination of incompetence and inappropriate activity.
Would this article have come out had you not shown up in that town?
No, none of this would be going on had I not.
And because they're wondering about it, there's kernels of truth. There's something going on.
Oh yeah, there's something going on in the last.
You're cooking the steak there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of vegetarians in Alachua though, so you get a lot of Christmas.
Well, you're sautéing the tofu.
There you go.
This move of yours, I'd like to learn this move, because if I could get this kind of fear instilled in our government, maybe they would change. Maybe they would start listening to the citizens and stop giving themselves raises when they're not performing their tasks as well as they should. I want to learn the move. Will you teach me the move? I want to learn the move. This is the move, right? Am I doing it right?
Well, if that's what does it,
is this it?
Mr. Miller. I think it's probably more like this. It's the wag of the finger, you know.
Man, the power of the wag.
But they do bring that up a lot.
That's very threatening.
Mr. Watson, are you going to receive this request?
Sir, you need to leave
who in the city
Hall.
Who in the city? Who in the city will discuss public records with me?
We have responded through your attorney.
I do not have an attorney in this
Yes, sir,
matter.
we
and
have.
my attorney that you're referring to has responded back to your
Sir,
attorney.
could you lower your voice,
and has stated that he does not represent you in this case.
Could you please lower your voice?
I have a public records request.
You're being
I have a
disruptive,
right
sir.
under Chapter 1. I'm not speaking with you at the moment.
We know that Charlie was trying to get these records for the longest time, and they say they have nothing to hide, but then they don't produce the records. And when he finally got in and he was starting to see them, they ambushed him and had him arrested. Clovis, the city manager, also being a police officer. And then now tell us what you heard about this other story where they something happened after a request of the records at the city hall.
Something happened after the request
of the records, right? The city hall caught on fire.
Yeah. I mean that kind of happened. This was in the middle of the night. I was getting ready to go to bed, and my son Michael had been out, and he comes in. I think it's about 11:30, and he said rather excitedly, "There's a big fire down at City Hall." He said, "There's all kinds of people there and the fire trucks," and then I heard other sirens, and there was one coming from across, and I thought, wow, you know. So he went back down with his video camera, and that was, you know, it's on a Sunday night. So it was kind of a surprise to me, especially with, you know, fire station being right next door. I didn't think, and then the other thing too, I thought, well, they must have fire alarm, you know, whatever you call them.
Right.
In the building, there should have been something like that, but apparently there wasn't.
So no fire alarms. The fire station is right across the street, and
No, it's right beside.
right next to it.
Yeah, right next to it.
And Charlie, where did this fire? It was deemed that it started where?
It started with the computers,
which hold
the records that I asked for on Wednesday.
On the previous Wednesday.
So Wednesday I asked for the records. Right. Thursday, I see somebody in the office actually downloading the records and deleting them from one computer, and made a mention of that. Friday, I get locked in the office of Alan Henderson when I'm trying to get. He locks me in his office rather than out of his office when I try to get records. And then on Sunday night, City Hall burns down, starting with the computers.
Flames shot through the roof early this morning at Alachua City Hall. A large fire engulfed the entire building, completely destroying some rooms and important equipment. WCJB's Ann Emanuel is live at the scene to tell us exactly what happened. Ann?
Well, Amanda, investigators are still here trying to figure out just that. But right now, it does look like an accidental electrical fire.
It's been an up and down year in the city of Alachua. City leaders have brought in a number of major business initiatives, but they've also faced a running legal controversy with UF doctoral student Charlie Grapski. This morning, another down note. City Hall was badly damaged by fire. WCJB's Ann Emanuel tells us city officials are working to make sure it's still business as usual.
Well, David, the unusual part is that the city will be working out of a number of different locations for the time being. The building isn't safe to go inside, and they may never work from that office again.
Due to a morning fire at City Hall, Alachua City Commissioners had tonight's meeting at an elementary school. Find out why some say the fire is a conspiracy.
You're facing an organization that's been around doing things their way for their own advantages for a long, long time, and you're beginning to discover that there are cracks in the shell. There are problems with the egg. And speaking of eggs, I've got a fantastic video that we're also going to get into. It's called the egg defense. It's the only viable defense against this.
What can I do for you guys?
Well, you promised to have a meeting with us a long time ago, and
Well,
you're not even returning my phone
right,
call
but
or
I've
my
been
email.
advised by the city attorney that we cannot have those discussions. I think she put it in writing to your attorney.
Well, my attorney doesn't represent. I don't have an attorney representing me in this case, in the case of public records. You don't have an attorney. You have a city attorney, and the city attorney's job is not to advise you to break the law. In fact, that's a violation of the law themselves. You're not bound by anything the city attorney does. The fact that there's litigation going on does not eliminate the city's responsibility to produce public records upon demand to anyone, including someone who's a party to litigation against the city. Your being in litigation has no bearing on your responsibility as city manager. You have to produce the records. They cannot tell you you can't. We haven't gotten the records. You've promised to make this a model of open government.
I think, well, and I do have a plan for when we move to New City Hall,
I'm not talking about
but we
the
haven't
future.
done that
I'm
yet.
talking
But
about
if you
the now.
have a public record request, you do it as everyone does, and we will respond
Oh, that's
appropriately.
fine.
I
Like
have done
said,
them as
she
everyone
never-
does. As
she
you
did
know,
not
we made
notify
these
herself,
requests
so I
in
just tried
November,
calling, you know, I know Sue
and we
said
haven't
no,
gotten a
sorry,
response.
But I'm going to
today,
finish my lunch right
You
now.
can finish your lunch, I don't mind, but I still want to talk to you about getting these records. I want to know where the records are and why I haven't gotten them yet. This is all about asking questions and the fact that I'm demanding answers. And I just want to show you one of the types of questions that we've been trying to get answered that they don't want to answer. This is a report in 2004 from a financial advisor consulting service. And one of the questions we've been asking, for example, is this. Here's a check by the City of Alachua to the City of Alachua. Effectively, they got cash out of the bank for $272,493.92. It's signed by Gib Kerper, who's a current city commissioner and at the time was the mayor, and Tracy Kane, who's just one of the sort of political people on the staff. And neither one of them can tell anybody what this money was for. This is what's going on in the City of Alachua.
You know, I need $1 million. Did you know that?
I could use $1 million.
Yeah.
Well, in the City of Alachua, if you're part of the system, you can get $1 million. Just go in the bank and take it. The Republican Party of Alachua County and the National Republican Party have a strategy to take blue states or blue communities, Democratic communities, and turn them Republican by getting the African American vote to vote for Republicans because of this claim that they're going to bring jobs, which are connected to Walmart and all that, bringing money into town. And so when I began exposing the City of Alachua, Stafford Jones and the mayor's husband, Hugh Calderwood, took the Republican Executive Committee of Alachua and said that they were going to draw a line in the sand on the City of Alachua. And I sort of revealed what was going on behind the scenes, and after that, Clovis Watson and the Republican Party came forward and openly admitted that they've got what they're calling Operation Red, and that is they want to turn Alachua County, one of the two Democratic strongholds in the state of Florida, into a Republican county by going outside of Gainesville and taking over all the small towns, starting with Alachua, and converting it into a Republican-leaning county. So that's Operation Red.
Well, certainly. I'd just like to thank everyone for coming and for us to network together and collaborate on the issues of the people of this county. This county needs to pull together for economic development, economic growth, and we have to prepare this county for our youth. And if we sit around and let those who are diametrically opposed to growth and economic development and positiveness that the Republican Party and the principles that we stand for as Republicans, then we will lose. So I say thank you for coming. Thank you for pulling together with us. Certainly I will have a longer message for you at Steve's Cafe. But this is about Operation Red. Operation Red of us turning this county into a red county. This will be Alachua County will be the county of the Republican Party. We cannot stand by idle and let those disagree with us with their ugliness and their hatred. We need to pull together, and no group of people are beholden to no party. Therefore, everyone deserves a choice, and we're going to give them a choice here in Alachua.